Which Mavericks star may not be ready to go for opening day, and which young guy made it back to the training camp roster? We'll give you all that information when it comes to the Dallas Mavericks. I know it's football season. We got Packers and Commanders on. Packers up 7-0, but basketball season is
close.
Right around the corner. October 6th is when the first preseason game. That is 25 days away from today. When we get some basketball going, start seeing some Cooper Flag on the court, not just summer league stuff. And you see the roster start to get going. Obviously, you're not going to have Kyrie Irving out there until maybe January, February, but you're hoping to have the rest of the gang there. A lot of questions swirling, and I thought today was a great day to start asking those questions. We have getting back into the 2025-2026 Dallas Mavericks. Luka trade is behind us. He's on the Lakers. The Dallas Mavericks, how will they look in 2025? I'm very hopeful for this team. It's the first time kind of talking about them, not in the offseason, but getting close to season. I am hopeful this will be a contender this year. We'll go more on what that means throughout the rest of the months, but just saying this now, I think they'll be a contender, Fred Davis.
Okay, but get to the part about Anthony Davis. I want to hear the part about Anthony Davis.
Okay,
the eyeball.
Let's play the clip. This was Mark Stein earlier on the podcast explaining what Anthony Davis' status looks like.
Media day is now, we're less than 3 weeks away. That will be the first time we see Kyrie since he underwent knee surgery. But also it'll be our chance to see AD, who we know had this eye procedure. And based on everything I'm told, he's not fully back on the court yet. He can't be fully back on the court yet. So it's like when practices start on September 30th, will AD even be ready to practice at that point? We don't know that yet. So it's not just the potential of starting the season without Kyrie. Is AD going to be ready to go on opening night against San Antonio? October 22nd ain't that far away. So there's so many questions.
There you go.
It's hard to... You mentioned the Luka trade being behind everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not, but I'm just saying.
But it's not, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's this weird place that we're in, right? Because on one hand, we are past it, okay, in the sense that look, he's a Laker now. The NBA's moved on. We've now got a season that we're getting ready to start where it's going to be all about Luka in LA, and of course you've chilled some of that frostiness, for lack of a better phrase, here in Dallas by getting Cooper Flag, and now he's got when the eye procedure was done this summer, it was done under the guise of, it's just something he's got to get taken care of. He's been dealing with it for a while, but he'll be fine when the season starts. And you're thinking to yourself, too, like, okay, it's not a knee, it's not an ankle, like, it's an eyeball. Like, how hard can it be to fix it? And now we're hearing from Mark Stein that he's not on the basketball court.
Mm-hmm.
May not be ready. It's just frustrating because when you're trying to defend this team and I'm in the same boat as you are. I want to see this team make a run.
You know what my favorite part of the show is? Jake's not there, but you know what my favorite part of our show is? Is me and you switch angles from which team we're defending back and forth. With the Rangers, I was hating on them all year, and you were defending them.
Yeah,
and now we flip
full 180.
And now the same with the Mavs. I was like, this team can't be good without Luka. And you're like, Cooper Flag and AD, I do not care. Luka, who? I'm ready.
Exactly.
Now you're like, we're not over the Luka trade. Is AD even worth it? Is he ready? Is this guy injury prone?
It hurts my case. Okay. It hurts my case because you say what you want. You have to have Anthony Davis if this team's gonna be a contender, like we think they can be. This is a deep ass roster, but I don't make no mistake. I'm googly eyes for Cooper Flag, all right? Cooper Flag is going to be a monster in this league. But if you're going to make a run in the next 2 years...
If you don't have AD for the first 2 months, what does it look like?
It's just,
worst case scenario. I'm not an eye doctor.
500.
500 basketball.
500.
Same if there are months, 500 basketball.
And you're doing and the thing is, at that point, you're doing it without your top two players.
Yeah, so you would have a lineup of D'Angelo Russell. Let's just say Klay Thompson for argument's
Klay's
sake.
starting. If you have no AD, Klay's starting. 100%.
Probably PJ and Cooper.
PJ and Cooper for sure.
And then Lively /
Lively.
Gafford.
And here's
how
the thing.
confident do you feel in that? PJ Washington officially by the team website letting everyone know he agreed to that multi-year extension.
I think that now again. Let me. I don't want to be too Maverick colored glasses on. I'm intrigued by that lineup.
Well, you just don't want AD there? Or I'm confused. What do you mean you're intrigued by the lineup? Of just having Cooper and PJ?
Well, no, I'm just saying if you're telling me that's what I have to deal with, I'm not saying I'm not being like, oh, season's over.
Oh, okay. You're saying you're
like if you tell me
that.
that's what I have to. I'm like, it could be a lot worse.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what we've talked about with the Mavericks is they have such a deep roster. You've got PJ Washington, who will probably be one of the best bench pieces for you. And when he has to spot start, cool. You have Max Christie, who's going to be a high-level bench piece. Najee Marshall, high-level bench piece. Derek Lively or Gafford. These are all guys that start on a lot of different teams.
You know what you're going to get.
But I'd say 70% of teams, 60% of teams, it's their starting center.
Well, no. I don't mean that in a bad way. What I'm saying is we're having that same conversation again this year that we had last year where the X factor is Derek Lively again.
He's not to me. He's not the X factor. You think he's the X factor?
Well, X factor in if he could take his. I mean, look.
I think the X factor is Clay.
We thought he was going to. I mean, Clay, you know what you're going to get with Clay.
But that's what I'm saying. If he can defend, if Clay Thompson can defend well.
Defending squad. You know that and I know that.
I don't believe it. I just wanted him traded. But to me, he's the X factor. If he can prove me wrong and defend at a high level and hit threes at a high level and be a nice
I think
spacer.
he'll be a little bit better than he was last year. I think that's your ceiling with him.
So you think it's Derek Lively?
I think it's got to be Derek Lively.
No, I don't think so. Because you have
Clay
AD.
Thompson's 35, dude.
AD is a little redundant with Derek Lively. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn with that.
Without him, though, like this is like at what point? But
if Gafford is in there, I don't think you lose a step. If Lively's out for 12 games, I don't.
Look, we're not arguing the same thing here. What I'm telling you is Lively going to step his game up? Is what I'm trying to say. Like, is this guy going to take a step?
If he does or doesn't, what happens? Then what do you mean he's the X factor then?
If he steps his game up, now you can. I'm not saying you can live without AD, but it makes AD not. He's not the end all be all. If Derek Lively become, I mean, dude, we took him 10th, 11th overall. I mean, at some point, like, look, a year ago, we were saying this dude's shooting threes.
Well, I think where I'm getting confused is who I want to improve and who's the X factor for us winning a championship are two different answers. Who I want to improve for the long term of this youth, Derek Lively, of course. Derek Lively can be exactly how he was last year. I think this Mavericks team can win a championship.
Well, but you don't know what he was last year.
He was still played. It's not like he was out the whole season.
15 games?
He played more than 15 games.
20 max?
No, he played more than that. Derek Lively.
But that's what I'm saying. But I mean, what game outside of he had that one big slam? He had a couple big slams throughout the course of the season. But I mean, Derek Lively was a non-factor last year.
He wasn't exactly what we wanted, but I wouldn't say he was a non-factor. Derek Lively played 36 games.
Look, I'm just Derek Lively to me. It was a wash of a season.
He averaged the exact same amount of points as he did his rookie.
That's my point. It was a wash of a season. Like we are in the same exact spot with Derek Lively going into 2025.
Growth isn't always linear, Frederick.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, like this was a guy that we were talking about last year as somebody that was going to again. We were told he's shooting threes. He's ready to take that next step, and he didn't.
No, I'm not disagreeing with that point. I just don't think he's the X factor for winning a championship this year. That's my only point.
Who's your X factor?
Clay. And you gave your reasoning that he's
Clay?
old. I wanted him traded. I'm not saying I want him to do X, Y, and the third.
What do you expect out of Clay, though?
If Clay can step up his defense, because you have a very bad defensive backcourt. So I'll say Clay / Max Christie, but I don't think they're going to give Max the opportunity, so I'd feel kind of dumb saying your X factor is your eighth guy off the bench. If Max Christie is starting, my answer is Max Christie. Whoever that starting two guard is, I'll give you that answer.
Yeah, okay.
Whoever you're starting to guard, whether it's PJ, he has to be able to shoot if he's going to be. And whether it's Clay, he's going to have to be able to defend. If it's Max, he's going to have to just do both of those things at a higher level.
I think we're this. Look, I looked at. To me, Clay is in the Ray Allen stage of his career, right?
Well, then then the Dallas Mavericks should not start him. If they agree with your sentiment, they should not start him.
I don't think he should necessarily start either.
Because you have a terrible defensive backcourt there.
Because Ray Allen was great coming off the bench, and I think that's the stage of where we're at with Clay's career.
I don't care how good your offense is. If you have Clay and D'Angelo Russell, and if you guys agree with Fred's sentiment, and if the Mavericks agree with Fred's sentiment that he's Ray Allen-esque right now in this point in his career, then you stand no chance when you play like Oklahoma City. No chance. those guards are going to ether you game in and game out. I am all for Cooper Flag, PJ, Lively, AD. The thing is, teams know they got great interior defense, but their perimeter defense is terrible.
No, he's going to have a rough go of it.
SGA is going to be doing what he wants.
I'll tell you what your X factor is.
Who?
I'll tell you what your X factor is. You mentioned it. Can Max Christie become a more consistent knockdown shooter?
That what I would love, because I already think he's your best point of attack defender.
Well, and I'll tell
I
you
love for him to add a little bit of muscle, but
if you, and we got to go to break, if Max Christie, that first month, he was a Maverick. Okay.
Honestly, I need that to be
that. If you can extrapolate that across 82 games,
and more just efficient. I don't need you dropping 20 plus,
which would be cool, but we're realistic about it. But if you told me that he was going to be a 14 to 15 point scorer and knock down 38% of his
40.
bro, and play lockdown defense, now and all I've got to have is and again, then Clay can become that Ray Allen guy off the bench.
Yeah.